भूतकालाय विद्महे कालातीताय धीमहि तन्नः कालभैरव प्रचोदयात्। ओम हिंगुळे परमहिंगुळे अमृतरूपिणी तनुशक्तिमनशिवे श्री हिंगुळाय नमः। Namaskaram. Welcome to yet another episode of Guru Bhairava. In this video today we will talk about a much more intense Swarupa of Bhairava, where he did not come as an creator but he came as a creation's creator. So before even the time could even name him, the sacred fire has already claimed him about his guna. He did not arrive with teachings, where he arrived with the knowledge within, because the creator, the hidden information actually was being shared, decoded with him, and the flame of the fearlessness was actually part of him. He arose with the flame of knowledge, the Aghora guna, the Adi Aghora Bhairava, who is none other than Baba Keenaram. See, ideally, before even understanding about the word Aghora or Agora Tattva or Aghora Guna, or even about the word Aghori, let's understand that actually where exactly this word all came from. The concept of Aghora came into an existence like the concept of the 5 heads. I believe you would be knowing it. Everything, anything in this creation was created by Shiva. As per the Shaivism perspective, every Vaishnava has a different concept. When it comes to Ganapatya, it is something different. When it comes to Devi Marga, everything is a different concept. But when it comes to the Shaivism, the concept of the 5 heads, I believe you would be knowing this, the Panchavakra, or we call it as Panchavakra because Shiva has 5 heads. The Lord Shiva actually had 5 heads, symbolically representing each different actually essence of a Tantric Shaivism, or we can call it as in a tradition where the representation of the each head or each mukha was been represented as a fact of a different type of consciousness, different tattvas, basically elementary principles. The state of being, we can call it as a state of a being. Each phases actually was represented with each different phases of elementary principles. Today, among this, today we are going to talk about, as I told you, like Aghora or a Aghori. The central concept of Aghori came into an existence by the creator Shiva himself. The intense, the transformative, the dissolving all kind of duties, being above than the day, what we call it as normal routine, mundanes, removing all those barriers is what actually Aghora Tattva is all about. We can call it like a when it comes to the 5 heads of the Shiva, it is like a Sadyojota is actually the first head, which is the can be called as a creator. It is also called as Brahma, Shiva in the Brahma Swarupa. Next is actually Vamadeva. Vamadeva is actually preservoir, or we call it as Vishnu Swarupa. The third is actually Aghora, destruction, Rudra, Aghora Tattva, Bhairava Tattva. The fourth is Tatpurusha. We call it as Tatpurusha, and here it is about the yoga, what we call as consulments, basically. In this particular Swarupa, he is called as an Ishvara. The fifth is actually called as an Ishana. Ishana is a transcendence, okay? He is like a Paramashiva. All the meditation, or the actually Shiva who has sat for the meditation, and he is also the Ishana is actually transcendence, is the space. It is also considered as even whatever the Saptarishis came, it was from this Ishana Swarupa perspective. But today we are going to talk about the Aghora Tattva. Let me just connect you from a Skanda Purana perspective, where actually Kashi Khanda is one part of it, and there is very reference, okay, in the time when the world had forgotten the essence of Aghora, the path of not the we see that actually Aghora as a terror, but it is not the path of the terror, okay, but it is the path of transcendence. It is a path of transformation within one's life. The we can call it as like a Purana, or the sages actually had forgotten this kind of a Surupa. Yes, and this is where actually on Uttrapada Tithi a sage was born, who would once again awaken the Shiv-Tattva, the Shiva's Tattva in his most primordial form, in a Adi Bhairava Swarupa. This particular sage would walk in the cremation, as most of you have heard about his stories. Yes, he speaks about the spirits. He is yet full of the compassion, like he has a lot of laurels when it comes to the stories, when it comes to the Kashi Khanda, and also the scriptures whichever he had written, very clearly stating that how pure form of guna is about Aghora. Okay, it is somewhat like when the Aghora path is forgotten, the path of the Shiva himself shall manifest to restore the true form. This is what actually the Aghora guna is all about. Today, the story, whatever we are going to talk, this is not about the ordinary sage. He is a Keenaram and the spark of the Adi Bhairava himself. He is a incarnation of Bhairava Shakti itself. In the Aghora lineage, normally we call it as when we speak about the Aghora Tattva, when the Aghora Vidya was fading, Shiva himself actually incarnated as Keenaram. This is actually, many people have said this, because he was actually called the first Aghori, the first Aghori Guna Tattva. Like to put it into a simple words, like Kala Bhairava guarded the Kashi. Similarly, Keenarama, especially in the Adi Bhairava Swarupa perspective, was born to guard the Aghora Tattva, Aghora path, for destruction to the decaying. For example, if you see, Aghora Tattva or Aghoris were always been considered as a outsiders of the society. So, but he was a person who brought all these things into a table, made clear that actually no, this is somewhat actually a protocol or a portal which actually a transcendence can happen. Here he is seen merely as not as a practitioner, not as an Aghori, as a practitioner, but an embodiment of Aghora Bhairava himself only, like Dattatreya or a Mahakala. Even there are multiple stories that Aghora Tattva, Aghora, the first guru of Aghora Tattva is Dattatreya. Shiva himself being one face, being the Aghora, the first guru was Dattatreya, and the first Bhairava Swarupa, the first Shishya, we can call it as, it was none other than Baba Keenaram. See, in Aghora does not comes from the scriptures. Let me just tell you very clearly. Many people think that actually, even in if you take about the Linga Purana or Shiva Purana, normally there are certain few elements of the information which is when it comes to the Aghora scriptures which has been shared on. But there are lot of information which is encoded into the lot of Kaula Tantra or Kashmiri Shaivism, or even the Viksika, like we can call it as like Bhairava, especially clearly being articulated as Vivekasara. This actually is called as a voice of Aghora. This was written by Baba Keenaram only. But before talking all those things, let understand like how exactly all these things came into in place as in scriptures. It came from the experience. What we need to understand is, it is not actually like Shiva has shared something information to Devi. This is about the experience. The Keenaram had experienced this which he was able to tell to the entire cosmos, to the entire city, that there is one particular tattva, Aghora tattva, which is the last phase of Shiva. And the Dattatreya was actually was able to make him as a first student. We can call it as Aghora Marga. Okay, Aghora Marga was actually lost in those days when it is like 1700s, I believe, if I am not wrong. That time actually there were 16 to 1700s. Over the time actually Aghora Sadhana was actually misunderstood, completely misunderstood, thinking that actually they only sit in the cremation ground, they only do the certain actions with the spirits, or they are being considered as a like out of the society people, because that time Dakshina Marga was actually much more prominent. People used to much more see that Dakshina Marga is actually the only way where we can connect to the Daiva. Here, Baba Keenaram was able to change the perception of the people, where Aghora Sadhana was being misunderstood, associated with the black magic, with the fear, and even the social rejection. He changed all these things. Baba Keenaram redefined the, or we can call it as, he restored. Okay, he restored the Aghora path, or a Aghora Marga, where fearlessness, or a one, what we call it as the compassion, okay, and the non-duality came into an existence, and as well as a divine acceptance was being considered, because after him there were many such gurus who walked into the Aghora Tattva. Today they have become a greatest masters. Maybe we'll talk about those in the detail, but before that there are certain teachings. As I told you, one of the Vivek Sara. In Vivek Sara he reveals very essence, like a true Aghori, like is not being rejected by the society but accepted by everyone, because Shiva himself was actually Aghora, without judgment, without fear, without any kind of a pride. If someone accepts the Aghora Marga, he can become a true Aghori. It is not like actually we applying the Vibhuti, or sitting in the cremation ground, or chanting certain mantras which will make you as an Aghori, or doing certain kind of rituals which is part of the Aghora Guna Marga, Aghora Marga. But there are certain characteristics at each individual. Shaivism, Shaiva Tattva, or whoever follow the Shaivism can actually be accepted when they follow the Aghora Tattva. See, let me just put you like this. Just as Adi Shankaracharya arrived to make sure that Advaitya is being taken care, similarly Keenaram Baba arrived to make sure that Aghora Tattva, Aghora Marga is being clearly being understood, making him as Adi Guru. Why actually we call it as Adi Aghori? Because he is the first guru of the path of the modern form. Today in 1600s, on 1700s, when he came into existence, this is what actually we need to understand. Like many scriptures at that given point of time had distinct information, but he was able to articulate, because he did not write, he did not actually understand from someone and wrote something. He experienced each actions, and then only he was able to articulate this. But before that, let me just give you a certain glimpse how exactly this all happened. See, in Balochistan, there is actually in Pakistan, today in Pakistan, there is one of a sacred space called as an Hingulaj River. In that particular Hingulaj River, there was a terrain. It's a terrain basically. Like in that particular terrain, one of his small yogi, like 9 years kid yogi, was sitting and performing a Havan. Okay, his body was strong, he was silent, he was glowing like a fire at given point of time. Like he was performing the yajna, and that his voice, or his mantra japa was so bright, and we can call it as so exaggerating, like even the entire cosmos was vibrating. He was not the ordinary yogi, or not the ordinary Aghori. He was the Baba Keenaram in his young age, chosen as an Aghori himself. See, before we this particular storyline, if you want to connect to this particular storyline, let me just take you back. Like, who was Baba Keenaram? Why are we talking about Baba Keenaram today? See, Baba Keenaram is said to be born in the 1601 in Ramghar village. It is in actually like Chandoli districts. I think it is comes under somewhere in the Uttar Pradesh today, wherever we have a Kashi. See, his parents were actually like Akbar Singh. Don't go into the names because Akbar doesn't mean that actually it was only Hindu. Akbar Singh and as well as Manasa Devi, where actually they were like Raghuvanshi Kula. They were Raghuvanshi Kshatriyas. He was born to the parents of Akbar Singh as well as Manasa Devi, who were actually following the Ramanama as main god. His main Daiva was Ramanama. Even there are certain stories where actually how exactly the Aghora Marga is connected to the Raghuvansha Kshatriya also. See here, by the birth sometimes we may be astonished happening like how exactly the Kshatriya became such kind of a powerful intense. There are many such stories. Even Parashurama, he made sure that actually whatever the Kshatriyas were, that all was been killed. And even if you see Vashishta Maharushi, and even there are certain Saptarushis or certain major Rishis actually who were able to consider a Kshatriya as one of a very potent. Okay, so rather than getting lost into that, let's come back to the story. When Baba Keenaram was born on 1601, it was being articulated like the baby when was born for without any kind of crying at all. Like even his dadi, like nursing, when she was able to when the boy was born, they thought actually he would be like dumb, or he may be like deaf and dumb, or he may be the special kid. For first 3 days actually they thought that this newborn baby is not going to live for the long time because he remained completely still, causing a greatest concern to entire family. And this was actually like a, what we call it as like in a parenthood, normally when the kid is born in such kind of a situation, normally parents will have certain kind of intense pain. That's what actually happened. Even Manasa Devi ma, actually she invoked the Rama, asking him, they being a Kshatriyas, Raghuvamshi Kshatriyas, she invoked Rama, asking that Rama, please help me because this kid is not trying to respond or cry or even talk anything or even trying to drink the milk. What to do with this particular kid who is not even responding? Is this kid still alive or he is dead? On the third day, actually, there happened some beautiful miracle. Three stranger sages came to his family doorstep and requesting to see the child. The three sages came to his doorstep and asked that actually we need to see the child. With anyway, Akbar Singh actually did not had any kind of an option. He thought that actually anyway, baby seems to be actually not responding, not drinking milk, not even crying. Maybe actually there is something actually we are going to lose it. With no other hopes actually, he handed over the kid. The Akbar Singh handed over the kid to the three sages. In the three sages, one of the sage actually whispered something in the baby's ear, like some mantras. He was able to whisper some mantras. After hearing that mantras, immediately the baby was actually move his fingers, toes as well as give a smile. A joy erupted from his face. And the way the sages came, they handed over the kid, the baby to the father, and they disappeared mysteriously. Like however they came, they went back in the same way. What the we can call it as a people around the folklore as well as the story which tells about this is As per the, it has been said that three sages came with three different gunas. Actually, they came and actually blessed him. But what was the three gunas? It was Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. It has been considered that the Shiva himself in this particular Swarupa came into it. As I told you, Sadyajoti, Vamadeva, Aghora. Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. Sadyajoti, Vamadeva, and Aghora. All three of them actually came to make sure that actually the kid was able to respond. This is actually one of first miracle what the people were able to identify, or even the family was able to identify that he is not a small kid, because there are certain sages who came and actually was able to make him alive. And one more thing what we need to understanding, how this Keenaram name came into an existence. There, it has been said in the storylines that their father and mother, seeing this kind of an episode, they had three more kids actually. They thought that actually like they did some remedies, we can call it as totakas. Like what they did was they gave the kid to someone, okay, and purchased that kid from them back. And this kind of a transaction is called Keena. That is the reason why his name became Keenaram. Prior to his birth, actually, whatever we call it as Purvanchala. Keena is also one more word called as in Purvanchala. It is like a brought back. He has been given as a child and he was been given taken back. Giving and taking, this kind of a process is called as in Purvanchala tradition. It used to be called as Keena. And the name Keenaram is one who was bought back. This is what actually the Keenaram's first name came into an existence. Maybe people would be wondering like, why Keenaram? What is the meaning of the Keenaram? This is what actually the Keenaram is all about. Here the child being a spiritually inclined, because during his third day the entire Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara came into an existence and made him that actually the baby is active. He would sit in the childhood days. His childhood days was so beautiful that actually he used to sit in the meditation. He used to actually do the Nama Japa of Rama. Ram, 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 Ram. He used to actually recite the name of the Rama continuously, remaining detached from the world. Even entire kids were used to play around and go to the schools, and even they used to do the regular day activities, but he never used to perform all these things. He used to always be out of it. After his daily routine activities like mom feeding him, he used to go and sit it in the one corner, or he used to go and sit in the one particular temple and do the Rama Nama Japa. Through he does not wish to marry, but you know that actually at that given point of time, like 8 to 10 years, they used to make him to the society. At that given point of time, child marriage used to be common. So at the age of 9, he used to do all these things, like he used to go and sit and do one Nama Japas continuously, and people used to identify him as he is not a normal kid. He is actually something special. He is not considered as a normal kid because he had that Daiva Guna in him. At the age of 9 actually, they started talking about the marriage. You know that actually at that given point of time, child marriage was common at that time. At the age of 12, when he was actually from the 9 years to the 12 years, actually he was being identified with one particular relative, where actually the wedding was being discussed and agreed, and they confirmed that actually the particular we can call it as a kid only, the lady actually who would be actually marrying to the Baba Keenaram. He was 12 years at that given point of time. There was actually a date fixed, and during the date fix, it was being agreed that in the particular Shravan Masa, actually the discussion was happened, and they would actually go for the marriage. And his way of intentions, even when the marriage was being set, he used to perform the same thing. He used to go, get ready, make sure that actually he used to go and sit in the temple, do the Ramanama Japa, and unless someone makes him aware that actually he need to get up and go to the next, or go back to the home, he used to sit and do the Nama Japa for so long time. it has been said that actually in the that customs like Gauna customs, especially on the marriage day, was very nearby. During the one day before of the marriage day, he, the Keenaram, being a 12 years kid, he asked his mother to give him actually like milk and rice. We call it as dudh bath. Why? See, basically in the Gauna as well as in the tradition of the um, in the particular his family tradition, not only his family tradition, even it has been considered that the milk and rice will be eaten only when actually there is some death rituals has happened in the family, or this particular meal tradition is associated with the death rituals. As a kid, 12 years kid, he asked his mother that actually he is willing and wishing to actually have the dudh bhat, the milk and rice. The mother actually was very horrified with this particular way of his request, and she told that actually, Kina, tomorrow is your marriage. Tomorrow morning is your marriage, and today you are asking. Tomorrow, actually, the Dulan is going to come back to the village. To actually, we need to perform the marriage rituals to you. And how can you ask the dudh bath, that is actually the milk and rice, in this particular day? He forced his mother. He made sure that actually his mother was able to understand, and finally she noticed that actually this kid is not going to be calm, so finally she gave the milk as well as a rice to him, dudh bath to him. The next morning what happened was they had a news that actually the young wife who was actually like married at 9 years old, and 12 years normally there is a like engagement at the 9 years, and 12 years was actually marriage which was being fixed. 12, and this particular young wife had passed away the previous evening, or we can call it as basically her this particular instance happened in such a way that her mother came to him, and mother already she asked that Kina, you asked the dudh bath, which was a sign of negativity due to which actually your wife has expired. Keenaram very softly told that, Ma, I already knew this. You please go and check if you feel that actually I had asked before or after. When his mother actually inquired what happened after his wife had expired on that day, after that night only he had asked for milk and rice. This particular news actually spreaded across the entire village, and the child was not happening without being told. Like they felt that actually how Kina was able to know his wife got expired before like something has happened, because there was not any kind of a communication. No one don't knew about how all these things would happen. They were like wonder like he is actually Daivaguna. He is carrying some omni presence with him. See, again talk like this particular happened in such a way that he was actually considered as one of a Vatu Rishi. He used to be considered as a Vatu Rishi because he had all such kind of knowledge or a jnana with him. Again, after a couple of years, like again in family, the same thing started. Like a remarriage was being spoken. Baba Keenaram was so clear. Like he was very clear that already his wife has passed away, and entire God has designed him in such a way. In today's existence, we think that actually if someone expires or something is happening in our life, we think that actually it is all because of my mistakes. No, he has something biggest plans. Our plan may be like one fold. Trust me, he has 1,000 folds much more seen better than us as what need to be done next. In same lines, Keenaram got to know that actually like after his first wife or a wife getting dead, he made sure that actually he left his home. He moved out of the home. He wandered until he reaches to the Ghaziapur. There he found actually one of the first guru. His first guru was Shivramji. He was actually like a Ram Mandir Vaishnava. He was actually a Ram Mandir Vaishnava saint. He was actually a Purohit of that particular temple. He came to his house and he started actually performing the daily rituals to him, doing supporting him, and actually he used to actually be one of his shishya to him. Shivram actually was a little aged man. Shivram actually thought that actually he has got one free, what do we call it as, a maid who is a very young age and he's performing all the duties to him, and he did not give any kind of a diksha to this guy. Many people used to come to his Gurukula, they used to learn everything and they used to go away. But Shivram, he never used to teach anything to Keenaram because he had some swartha in him actually. And one day it happened in such a way, every time he used to Keenaram go and he used to do Guru Seva in a very utmost surrendered way. After performing his daily activities to the Guru, he used to go and sit in one corner of corner and used to do the Ramajapa. One day it happened in such a way, like Baba Keenaram as well as Shivaramji, Shivaramji told that actually today we will take a bath in Ganga and we'll go to the Ganges. And everyone went to the Ganga with all the Shishya Ganas, like all the Shishyas along with Shivaramji. And the Keenaram, being a very young and energetic guy, too young guy, he went very quickly to the Ganges and he was actually immediately went to the shore of the Ganges. He started praying to him, and one particular incident happened on that day. He was actually praying to the Gangama and he was trying to offer a salutation to him. Miraculously, what happened was, from the Ganges, one particular rose on its own came and it handed over to the kid. Like Gangama herself came and giving the particular rose to him. This particular incident, while happening, his Guru Shivaram was able to see him from the back. He was able to see that actually this kid is not a normal kid. He was able to realize this. But Keenaram thought that all this instance is happening because of my Guru Deva. This is what actually it all happened. And this was a turning point for Keenaram's spiritual potency. He finally understood that this kid need to be handled in a separate way. He has a very higher chances that actually he can become one of the highly potent sadhaka in the next coming futures. That's where his initiation, the diksha, got started to him. Finally, like Baba Keenaram was learnt all the particular rituals, every actions, every instance, or every spiritual scriptures from Shivaramji, his first guru. And it has been said that actually Dakshina Marga, Madhyama Marga, and it was Vama Marga, he was able to explain it. But in Vama Marga, again, as I told, Aghora Tattva comes into a picture. But Aghora Tattva, Shivaramji was not able to explain. At that given time, one more incident happened. Shivaramji's wife actually at that given point of time, she leaves the existence, she expires actually. And during her expiry, she actually tells Shivaramji actually to take care of his kids. But the instance happened in such a way, Shivaramji actually seeing the kids, actually he thinks that actually he want to get married to the next, one more female. Even at that given point of time, Baba Keenaram actually was very, very young and he was very energetic. What we call it as, he had, you know that actually at the young, when the kids are young, they have a replication or they always have a difference in opinion. This is what actually had also happened to the Keenaram. He went to the Guru and he told that actually, Guruji, you are doing something wrong because you cannot get married because we are from Raghuvamsha. As Raghuvamsha, Rama has already told us that Eka Prativrata is what our guna is all about, our religious is all about. But Shivaramji was not worried at all. He ignored Baba Keenaram's word and he got prepared for his marriage. Seeing all this episode, Keenaram thought that actually now this is the time to go out of the Shivaramji and see one more guru who can help me and make me much more aware about other spiritual knowledges. He was wandering for a spiritual hunger from all the places across the Kashi Kshetra. He was able to identify one particular guru. Next guru was Baba Kaluram. See, Baba Kaluram, actually we can call it as, he was very very potent. He was actually called as an Aghora Siddha. Siddha because Siddhas are actually like who have activated like Bhairava Tattva as well as Devi Tattva in him, and he was actually it has been said that Baba Kaluram had activated all Ashtabhairavas and also activated Kalima, and he was a Kali Upasaka at that given point of time. He was the first person to give a Bhairava mantra to Baba Keenaram, and he was a person actually who introduced him to the Aghora Vidya, like performing the rituals. We call it as like Tantra rituals, typically on Vama Marga perspective, fire rituals, which is actually the same ritual, same ingredients, but with a little bit of different ingredients. Most of the ingredients will be same, but little bit of different ingredients will come into the fire rituals. But there are certain things like Smashana Sadhana, Shava Sadhana, all these things was, and the meditation on the very intense and the high, on the particular place, on the particular muhurta, all these things actually Kaluram was able to introduce to the Baba Keenaram. It happened in such a way, like Kaluram, it has been said that Kaluram, after making Keenaram, making him learn all these things, Baba Keenaram was actually so vibrant at that particular age. He was so extraordinary that he was able to activate Bhairava in a very, very authentic form. We can call it as like in a somewhat like he did certain Smashana Sadhana where actually he was able to activate all the Ashtabhairavas. It has been said that actually Ashtabhairava Sadhana Paddhati, where it was took 12 years for the Baba Kaluram, but Keenaram Baba was able to activate this within like 18 months. Like 8 forms of Bhairava he was able to activate in the 18 months. Just think about his particular intensity, what types of living of energy he had, how consciously he was active. He had only one thing in his mind, that actually he need to reach to the highest form of consciousness. See, here he did not conquer the death. He became one among it. He became one among the Ashtabhairavas at that given point of time. See, all these things happened in such a way at that given point of time. Again, I'll take back to the story. Baba Kaluram was a person who told him to go to the Balochistan, all the Shakti Pitas. One of the very high potent Shakti Pita among them was Hingulaj Mata. See, Hingulaj Mata is very minimally she has been addressed or she has been spoken on, because Hingulaj Mata, she is like we can call it as all the mysticism or Aghora Tattva came from her only. All the mysticism, all the we can call it as ancient wisdom, whatever we have enlightened by all the Saptarishis, came from Hingulaj Mata. Even it has been said that when even the Pandavas went to the 14 years of Vanavasa, they went to Hingulaj Mata and they made sure that actually they did the tapas there. And after tapas, Hingulaj Mata came into in the dreams, and she was able to tell that they will be able to win the war against the against the war. So basically the 14 years of penance, whatever they had, they will be able to win the war. Even it has been said that Parashurama, while performing his puja vidhana, he was asked to go to the Shakti Pita, that is actually Hingulaj Mata, and get the divine Shaktis. Due to after getting the Shaktis only, he came to enter to the south, where actually the Aghora Tattva or Aghora Kula, Kaula Marga was being created, because he was like it has been said that actually even his wisdom was being poured by Hinglaj Mata only. So coming back to the story, Baba Keenaram was being said by the Kaluram that actually he need to go to the Balochistan near to the Pakistan and do the intense Agora Sadhana, where actually he will be able to activate the Daivi Tattva, because now he had already activated Ashtabhairavas. He was actually ready for actually performing any kind of a sadhana. In that given point of time, he went to the Shakti Pita, that is Hinglajma, and he performed the intense sadhana, and that intense sadhana was so we can call it as the principles was based on the Aghora. This particular informations are written in his three of the scriptures, main of the three scriptures which Baba Keenaram has only written, this Vivekasara, Rama Gita, as well as we can call it as Ramarasa. There is one more called as Ramarasa, and I don't know, like Unmani Rama actually was one of the scriptures which is not mostly spoken. These are the four books. It is also considered as four Vedas for Aghora, Aghora Marga. Vivekasara, Ramagita, Ramarasala or Ramarasa or Unmani Rama. These are the four scriptures which was been written by Baba Keenaram only, which is like authentic, we can call it as these are the treasures, or if someone wants to move to the Aghora Tattva, we can call it as Grihastha Sant. If any kind of a Shivadasa for the few days, normally if they want to know about any kind of a Aghora Tattva, these are the four scriptures actually which normally been read to know about the Shiva Guna in the Aghora Tattva especially. The era of the Aghora actually was bought into a scriptures, and it was spoken, the Diksha, as I told, Keenaram actually Baba was able to give us a four beautiful scriptures, or we can call it as four Veda, or we can call it four Agamas, or actually four portals of the knowledge: Vivekasara, Ramagita, Ramarasala, and Unmani Rama. See, these things actually are somewhat like actually like even till dated, even in Krimkund, especially in the Kashi today, in till dated actually it has been disclosed of the information has been shared. See here, what we need to understand is there are certain scriptures actually which has lot of insight and informations, but what we need to understand is what exactly, see, I'm not trying to go into the in-depth of the Aghora Guna here, because it will be like somewhat like actually giving you information which is not really supposed to be disclosed, because it comes from the Guru Parampara normally. As I told you, like Lord Dattatreya was actually the first Daiva. There is one more story connected. As I told you about the initial story of Balochistan, there is one more story which is connected. Lord Dattatreya, when he was doing Kaluram actually was able to give him the Aghora Sadhana Paddhati, but it has been said that in the Aghora Paddhati or a Sampradaya was initially been introduced, or it was directly given by Dattatreya Swami. Swami Dattatreya actually, when he was doing a tapas in the cremation ground, Dattatreya Swami was able to come, and he was able to tell him that he was able to teach directly all these informations to him and make him know about all this Aghora Guna, or the way the Sampradayas need to be taken care. When he was able to understand the divine commands which was being shared by Swami Dattatreya, he got an information that actually he need to go to the Hinglaj Mata and receive the much more intense sadhana paddhati from the Devi herself, because she is a tantric Devi. Hinglaj Mata, she is a tantric goddess. And even till date, as I told you earlier, lot of different scriptures have already been told. Like even it has been said that the greatest sages, Saptarishis, also had been there and did the sadhana paddhati to understand the know about the tantra as whatever we have today. Even as Parashurama, to know to Kaula Nirvana, when he created, or when he came to the entire south to create all the particular way, he actually also learnt the tantra from Hinglaj Mata only. And at the time, actually, Hinglaj Shakti Pita was being considered. I'm talking about 16th or 1700, when he got a information, or this is like a different information. First story actually, which was told, that actually, like from a Babu Kaluram, actually he was able to get the Bhairava Sadhana and Aghora Sadhana Paddhati Marga, and he was able to continue it. But there are one more story which talks about he got directly the initiation from the Dattatreya Swami. And when he got in a dreams that actually Dattatreya Swami is trying to tell him to go to the Balochistan and through a Tantra Sadhana, at that given point of time, when Keenaram Baba went to the Balochistan, at that time that Balochistan actually was controlled by the Muslims. Okay, it was under several centuries actually was controlled by the Muslims. Making spiritual practices was very, very difficult at that given point of time. Even if you see the different, it has been considered at Hindu heritage in the even till dated, it has been considered as one of the potent place, and it is also considered as Hindu heritage. Maybe we will talk a different video about completely about the what we call it as Tantra Devi, the Hinglaj Mata. We will speak about her in a very detailed way. But in this particular context, when Keenaram Baba went to the Balochistan, he was not able to perform any kind of spiritual practices, nor even the we call it as like Aghora Marga, fire rituals, Shava Sadhana. It was very, very difficult. And what he used to do is, Baba used to sit little distance away from the cremation ground, and he started the first sadhana of Bhairava Sadhana. Bhairava Sadhana, as I told you, he was actually able to get the siddhi of all the Ashtabhairavas. The first Devi, actually, he was able to activate Kali, and even till dated, even in Krimkunda, it has been said that actually Hinglaj Mata came with him to the Kashi, and today she resides in Krimkunda, which has been recited in the Kashi. And that's how actually he was able to take the Prana Shakti from the Balochistan, and he was able to reactivate. We can call it as like consecration was being done at the Krimkunda. His ashrama, today's ashrama, which is actually not just a place, it is a divine space where the entire reincarnation of the sadhakas get meted there. There are multiple such stories. It has been said that after getting the Prana Pratisthapana of the Hinglaj Mata being done at Krimkunda, Krimkunda actually became such a potent place. Whoever visit that place or whoever meet in that particular place are being said that actually they have a connection with Tantra. They have a connection with their past lives. It is also been said that whoever visit that Punya Kshetra, Krimkunda in Kashi, because the consecration of the Hinglaj Mata, when the Prana Pratisthapana was being done, it has been done in the form of like it has been said that actually it is in the form of the geometrical arrangements, somewhat like Shri Chakra or Chakravasini. In that format, actually, that particular energies has been done. This is what actually is being said, because these informations are never been disclosed to the outer world. Whatever the information is being shared by my gurus, I am trying to share it to you. Here, it has been said that visiting Krimkunda in Kashi, it is said that they have already done Bhairava Sadhana or Devi Sadhana from their past life. Then only they will be able to come and meet there. Here it has been said to get the energies from the Balochistan to actually to activate in the Krimkunda in Kashi, Baba Keenaram actually had performed certain Devi sadhana, especially in Dashamaha Vidya, Bhairavi sadhana he was able to perform. Bhairavi sadhana, when he was able to perform, he was able to get the Bhairava and Bhairavi Digbandhana of the Hingulaj Mata. He was able to get the Devi's prana from there, and he was able to do a Pratishtapana here. That is the reason it has been said, once someone tells that actually I have done one particular Dashamaha Vidya, it is not Paripurnata. If it is so, why all the, if you see the incarnations of the, or whatever we call it as greatest sages, why they did the Ashtabhairava sadhana, why they did the Dashamaha Vidya sadhana, why actually finally after that one particular Devi in Dashamaha Vidya, one particular Bhairava Guna they were able to get, understand, they were able to catch, and they were able to perform their best intense sadhana into the, in this particular marga. So that is the reason I always tell, even in our telegram group, we always tell that please perform 3 mandalas of sadhana. Unless you perform the 3 mandalas of sadhana, getting connected to the Sukshma Sarira of yourself, to the Bhairava Guna, is not so easy. And again, let me just also reiterate, once you understand the Bhairava Guna in yourself, Bhairava Tattva in yourself, automatically the next charana will open. Charana is somewhat like a steps. Prathama charana, Ditya, Tritiya charana will get open up. In Prathama charana, it is all about actually, there is certain Bijakshara mantra which is being given, and in that Bijakshara mantra, it is like a living energy which will make you aura much more active, and your connection with the Daiva will be much more potent. Simple. Whatever the sadhana paddhati which is being disclosed or which is being shared on the Bhairava Anugraha is completely a grace of Bhairava himself. It is actually poured back to his lotus feet. No dakshina, no Guru Dakshina has been ever been asked in this particular sadhana paddhati, and no Guru himself, the what do we call it as the seekers himself will become the Guru here. Okay, that is the beauty about the Bhairava. Bhairava consciousness is so beautiful that actually once you understand his particular Purna Guna Tattva, automatically you will get to know about what exactly you need to do. Coming back to the stories, Bhairava, when once actually Bhairava, he was able to activate all the Ashtabhairavas and the Bhairavi, he was able to get the Prana Shakti from the Balochistan to actually get activated in the Krimkunda. Krimkunda in Varanasi is not just a place, it is the energy still resides. It has been told that Devi herself is Purna Jagruta in that particular place. Even till dated, there are lot of we can call it as actually Pitadipatis of the particular Pitas, which has been Aghora Pita, which was first created by the Baba Keenaram. The lineages actually are continuing. There are like multiple lineages actually have come. Until dated, this rituals are being performed in such a way. Even before starting any kind of a sadhana, they first take the Agnya or permission from the Hingulaj Mata, and then only they perform everything. So Hingulaj Mata is being considered as a, what we call it as she being the tantric goddesses, she's been considered as first potent god, even connected to activate the energies. See, there is a very beautiful connection between Hingulaj Mata as well as Kamakhya Ma. Maybe actually, as I told you, next we will, with her permission, we will try to talk about her. In that actually we will also try how exactly there is a connection between the Hingulaj Mata as well as the Kamakhya Ma Shakti Pita. These particular two Shakti Pitas are very, 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 very potent. I'm not telling that actually other Shakti Pitas are no. See, whatever we call it as the word as Tantra, this particular word is actually the goddesses is from the Hingulaj Mata only, and we need to understand where exactly all these things came into. Here, eventually, what we need to understand is the divine guidance to Baba Keenaram by the lot of gurus. He was able to get lot of gurus when he in his journey. Many gurus came into his life, and the mysterious tattva of Aghora tattva was actually been understood. It has also been said that Baba Keenaram, when he performed the Harishchandra Ghat in the Kashi, when he performed the Aghora Marga Sampradaya, it has been said that actually he was being entitled as Adi Aghora. Adi Aghora, Bhairava himself, because he was able to activate, he was able to test the siddhis of every floating corpse, whatever is being said, whatever we do, like Smashana, Sadhana, Shava Sadhana especially. This has been said that actually he was the first person who was able to perform this. The floating corpse. He was actually, it has been said that actually whenever he used to perform any kind of a sadhana siddhi, the corpse used to float in the air. It used to whisper and it used to spiritually ungrounded, and it used to actually come and talk in front of him. See, this is the way of sadhana siddhi paddhati which the greatest sages, the greatest siddhas used to perform it. And we feel very proud that actually we are able to talk about them, know about them, understand about them, how exactly they are connected. We can learn a lot of things from them. See, sadhana as well as tantra is not for any kind of entertainment. People normally do that, like hopping between one sadhana to other sadhana, shifting from one Daiva Swarupa to the other Daiva Swarupa. Trust me, it is somewhat like eating, if you are eating a luxurious or a grand meal, you are trying to taste everything in that particular meal. By this, you will not be able to activate your guna tattva unless you finally get initiated and know the deepest secrets of the sadhana. It has never been opened up. This is what actually even the Baba Keenaram was able to tell us and teach us. He was able to get the siddhis of every Bhairava Swarupas, and even he was also being called as like even till dated, if you talk about Adi Aghori, he was being considered as Adi Aghori Bhairava. And Dattatreya Swami himself was able to initiate him the secrets of Aghora Guna, where he was the first Adi Aghora. Adi Aghori himself. Baba then here what we need to understand is he did not stop there. After doing all these things, he established a four, like we call it as four four matas, we can call it as centers, okay, in the memory of Kaluram, like in Vaishnava matas, we can call it as in the memories of Shaivism. He created all these things. Even those are actually in the part of all Kashi Kshetra, and one of them, the major, we can call it as a headquarters. Today, whatever we call it as a headquarters of entire Tantra Sadhana Paddhati or Aghora Marga Paddhati is in Krimkunda, and we are blessed. If you have not been visited that particular place, please do visit that place. It will open up many of your aids. You will get to know many of your inner own secrets, miracles spanning about your past lives. It will open up in such a span that Kandhar, what we call it as a even it is also said that actually Sahajahan actually during the Kandhar battle, he was being said by Baba Keenaram that Aurangzeb would be the last, because he was able to come to and take a blessings of Baba Keenaram. That is the reason Krimkunda is so potent, energetic, what we need to understand. Here actually in 1601, just think, in 1601, and he left his body on 1771. So almost like 100 and like more than a century he lived. Okay, he lived for 170 years. So on 21st September, this is what actually I have read when I had been to the Krimkund, and also the Viksita Vivekasara. Even in Vivekasara information, there are certain context. Okay, like Baba left his body. See, what we need to understand is, but 170 years he lived and he was able to get this entire sadhana paddhati packed into such that actually today we are able to understand everything. But there are, in Viksikta Bharata, the story information is written into a different way. It has been said that in 1771 only, 21st September only. But again, as I told you, these are the different story laurels which has been said. It has been said that this was a date when Baba Keenaram was able to place the yantra of the Hingulaj Matra in the cream kunda, and he was able to do a prana pratishtapana. Like what we call it as, during that particular process, there are beautiful stories which has been written, like a bolt of light of sky energies was been popping up when he was able to perform that. It is in the form of a chakra. The chakra Swarupini, she is in a chakra Swarupini. The radiant light emerges from the cosmos when he performed all these things. Do not grave, like let me just tell you, he actually light up the one dhuni after doing the performance of this particular prana pratishtapana, the yantra pratishtapana. One dhuni was been activated in Krimkunda. It has been said, or it has been even till dated, we can witness that. You can go till dated to the Kashi, and in Krimkunda here in the, you can still see that, we can call it as actually the dhuni which is still active. See, whatever we see as Krimkunda, as a Kashi is the center of the agoras, even till dated, gathering all the informations. Baba Keenaram actually was able to tell us that actually the Aghora Tattva is not for one particular people, or only for the people who have left entire family. Being in the family also, you can practice all this Aghora sadhanas after getting a proper gurus. Normally with the grace of the Bhairava we will be able to get it, and once they come into our life, our life actually will be so beautiful, and we will be able to take this particular life to the next level. And you also can enjoy this once if you practice your sadhana as you are living life. Even till dated, let me just tell you that even till dated, there are current chief ministers actually who visit to even to the Baba Keenaram ashrama, giving a spark for the like we can call it as the Aghora puja normally, which has been done. The till dated Granthavali, it is called as in basically to even to disclose, or actually any the yearly annual celebrations of the Aghora Tattva. Even till dated, the ministers, chief ministers goes there and give a kick-off, or we can call it as, it has been accepted by every sort of people today. We need to understand this. The reverence of the Aghora saint to the spiritual reformation, all these credits actually is completely goes to the Adi Aghori Bhairava himself, Baba Keenaram. The three primordial text actually which was been given to the society was Aghora Gita Shala. It is also called as an Aghora Granthavali. Okay, and one more book is actually Baba Keenaram's Sthal. What we have it, as I told you, like 4 books actually he was able to write. Vivekasara, other is actually Unmani Rama, and other is actually like Ram Gita. Here I can tell you like this, whatever the, on a very high level I'll try to share the context of from a Bhairava Guna Tattva perspective, how exactly the Baba Keenaram being a Adi Aghora Bhairava, how this scriptures was been written. In Vivekasara, this has been told that like most explicit scriptures about the Bhairava Guna in the Aghora path. This particular scriptures actually tell how Bhairava consciousness is very very essential for a sadhaka. It also actually outlines the nature of the Aghoras. It is not like other than Bhairava Guna. It is somewhat like embodying yourself the fearlessness, the formlessness, the non-duality, or what we call it as bhava, or what we call it as good, bad and evil, how the life and the death need to be seen. which has been explained in Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Similar to that, in the Vivekasara, it is beautifully been articulated what is the nature of Aghora should be there. And it also explain what is a true Aghora, becoming a Bhairava himself. See, Aghora Tattva or Aghora Guna is not like one particular stage. It is actually becoming himself, beyond duality. It is untouched by the impure, or a seated in the Advaita, what we call it as Shankaracharya, who educated us how non-duality awareness is very, very essential. Even in Vivekasara, Baba Keenaram was able to give us such a beautiful context that how exactly a sadhaka can follow a sadhana paddhati in a Aghora tattva perspective. It is repeatedly invokes the Shiva as well as Bhairava, not as a god outside, awakening inside. Here it is also been said that Bhairava, especially Bhairava as well as Bhairavi initiation, is how activity can be done. Bhairava one is who is rooted into the voids. Let me tell you this, the one who is beyond all the duality and the true Aghora Tattva. Here the Bhairava is been shared, or it has been articulated as he being a supreme self. Okay, even the cremation grounds, it has been not been said like a place where we go and do only the antim samskar. It is also been said it is a ground of a symbolism actually to activate your Aghora Guna to the next level. The fearlessness, what we call it as an Abhaya, will be activated through Vivekasara. It is beautifully been written. It is also tells about like purity, impurity. What are the things, whatever we think that it is a impurity, is a purity in this particular Aghora Marga. It is directly like truth beyond the minds and rituals can even think about it. That is a beautiful one of the scriptures, Vivekasara. In the Bhairava context, it has been written. Unmani Rama is all about like mystical Bhairaval states, like how actually like we can call it as no mind state. This has also been written in actually like Kaula, as well as Kaula is especially in Kashmiri Shaivism. There is something called as an Bhairavi Mudra. Okay, maybe it is beautifully been articulated in Unmani Avastha. Like Bhairavi Mudra is like awarening your shunyata, which will activate your shunyata through only Bhairava sadhana. The Bhairavi Mudra can be activated, and it is like not an extension. In Unmanti Rama, actually, it is more about a journey of merging a self with a Bhairava consciousness. It is somewhat like a dissolving into the silence, the stillness, and the beyond the desire and the fear. To put it into simple, it is like an inner Bhairava. Okay, experiencing the silence, void, samadhi, as well as a esoteric stillness, what individual sadhaka is supposed to experience. These experiences actually been said or been shared there. Somewhat like actually stillness, stamba. Void is somewhat like a shunyata, or unmani is somewhat like actually unmani is somewhat like no mind at all, like no mind state. Okay, transcending every mantra into a highest level. Even this information also get connected to the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. See, what we need to understand is Bhairava as a formless. If you see, finally the reality you will not be able to understand at all. Even in Ram Gita, about Rama is also been written more bhakti based. We can call it as logically or allorogically it has been explained. But here what we need to understand is Bhairava is like himself as actually Satvika Swarupa here. Dharmic life of a Rama has been shared here. A blending of Aghora Tattva with the devotion is actually what has been written in Rama Gita. Less about like Bhairava sadhana. It is not about like it is actually becoming Bhairava in indulging yourself actually, like how the dharmic life of the Rama blending between the divine devotion blessing with the Aghora Tattva is what it is written. See here, let me just tell you, one who does not understand the Aghora One who does not understand the Aghora guna is somewhat like a trapped in the life and death. Normally, when we talk about the Tantra, when we talk about the Bhairava, Aghora is what normally word we normally use it. But if you are unable to understand the Aghora guna, you are trapped in between the life and death. One who realizes that the Aghora is true liberated, that is the reason it has been understood or taken as the highest level of taking a self to the Bhairava himself. Bhairava is not feared here, but revered. It has been said, liberating by the Aghora Tattva, one can be liberated from the illusion of the body, even fear and the mind and the death. The path of Aghora is like why Keenaram Baba was able to choose was whichever was being rejected, he was able to teach us that a rejection only has purity in it. And the radical acceptance of that impurity as a purity is what he was able to give to this humankind. Impurity, sacred, beautiful, decayed. He showed that all these things are not something different. It is all within us. If you experience yourself in all those forms, seamlessly, you start experiencing Shiva himself in you. Maybe today's video is a little bit lengthier, but I try to give all sort of information when it comes to the Baba Keenaram. See, trust me, I am not even spoken 1% of his Guna Tattva, whatever we have spoken today. There are lot of informations when we talk about Baba Keenaram, and today we are so blessed to know about him that he was blessed by Dattatreya himself, the first Aghori Guru, who taught as Adi Aghora Bhairava Swarupa, Baba Keenaram, where we were able to understand him completely. Maybe with this note, we'll take a leap. We'll come out with the next information, next episode, once his grace and willings are there. Om Bhairavaya Namaha. Om Hingulambikaya Namaha. Om Kamakyaya Namaha. Om Hingule Paramahingule Amritarupini Tanushakti Manashiveshri Hingulaya Namaha. Om Kala Kalaya Vidmahe Kalatitaya Dhimahi Tanna Kala Bhairava Prachodayat. Namaskaram.